You know what else is addicting?
Pokemon.
Pokemon Crystal, which was my final Pokemon until I got to like Black 1 and all of that. Pokemon Crystal is coming to the 3DS next month. Nintendo has announced it's bringing Pokemon Crystal to the Nintendo 3DS. The game is launching near the end of January, and it will feature the full Pokemon Bank support, which is awesome because if you store your Pokemon in the Pokemon Bank, you can get them in the other games. So you can go back and get all of the good stuff.
I like the idea of a bank.
Yeah. They've had it for a while, but like it was almost impossible to like trade up your Pokemon to where you could get them in the bank. So now having this where you can put them in the bank, because I don't know if Yellow had it where you could add them to the bank. I think they did Silver and Gold recently. I don't know if they had the bank either, but this having it will be a really cool thing. It will launch on January 26th, and it's only $9.99.
Oh, wow.
So if I had a 3DS, I would get it.
I have a 2DS.
Oh, there you go. You can still play it.
I can still play it.
You know, that's probably my favorite, other than Yellow, is, excuse me, everybody. He's yawning. I'm burping. Is Crystal. Like, I really enjoyed Crystal, like, with the dogs and all of that kind of stuff.
I liked, the dogs were super awesome, but, like, Leaf Green and Fire Red and Crystal are my two favorites besides... It's always going to be, you know, Yellow, and then anything else falls behind.
Was it Leaf Green and Fire Red just like Green and Red?
Pretty much, remastered.
Because Green actually launched over in Japan first, and then they launched Red and Blue over here. Then they eventually brought Green over here.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Yellow, then Green came out. I would just got Yellow because it was closer to the anime than the rest of it. Continue on with Pokemon. Pokemon Go, legendary Pokemon Groudon. Is that how you say that?
I'm proud of you.
Good job, me. Available starting now. The first Hoenn Legendary will be in-game until January 15th. Niantic has announced that the legendary Pokemon Groudon will be appearing in Pokemon Go. According to Pokemon Go's official site, Groudon will be spawning in raids today and remain in the game until 1 p.m. Pacific time on January 15th. Now, does that excite you? Is like he a good Pokemon?
Yeah, he's very good. Super rare Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you have him, because I know everybody's wanting to get the legendaries and collect them. Like, I know I've missed out on a few of the birds and a few of the dogs because I'd quit playing for a while again. Yeah. But now the new Pokemon are out, it only makes sense for him, for Groudon to come out.
Yeah. I've got like a Pidgey.
I'm proud of you, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
That's the first one Holly caught, too.
Yeah. I don't remember what my first one was. I didn't play that long. I played a little bit longer of Pokemon Go than I did the Animal Crossing game because I played like all of 10 minutes of it. I set up my camp and I'm like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
Like I know it's for some people, but it's not for me.
Like I said, mobile games, like...
I got my Switch for mobile games.
Some people love them. Like there's people who will literally... Because I've seen bank statements. They will sink so much money into like Google and iTunes for these games, and I'm just...
Not for me.
Yeah.
Not for me. On to something that I know everybody has heard, but we are a news podcast. FCC has voted to repeal net neutrality. I actually showed this to my class, like the statements from each of the people on the commission and everything. It was very interesting. Like I know and this is totally different. We saw the Twin Towers fall in in elementary. We were in 6th grade. Our school was weird. It went K through 6 and then 7th through 12th. So
don't ask.
Don't ask. Don't tell. But you know that was a historic day. This has the potential to be very historic as well. Yeah. The commission has voted 3-2 in favor of repealing net neutrality, which there's a lot of stuff going on there. We're not going to get into the rigmarole of it all. But the next step is to likely happen in court. If ultimately adopted, the changes won't take place overnight, but once the rules are removed, internet service providers will be free to experiment with new fees and new ways to bundle content on the internet. The changes could have sweeping implications for gamers who've become substantially more reliant on the internet with the explosion of online gaming over the past 15 years. So it could be, it goes in the court systems. Like, you're going to have big corporations like Netflix and all of this that are going to be pouring money into making sure that this stays. Like, net neutrality stays.
Yeah, and I think it needs to. Like, it's something I believe Obama brought in. And I mean, it's helped a lot because you don't want your internet companies monopolizing different areas that you can go.
Yeah.
Like, if Netflix is partnered with Verizon, which I believe they are, like, you'll be able to stream Netflix at great speeds, but if you're on an AT&T phone or AT&T internet, then, you might be in trouble.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that we're on the right side of this and everything. Like, I watched everybody's speech except for the first lady that spoke. I can't remember her name off my head. She was for keeping net neutrality. It was funny that both of the women on the council wanted to keep it, and all the guys wanted to get rid of it. one of my students was
stupid students.
No, one of my students was like, "Of course, it'd be a bunch of stupid men wanting to get rid of something," and it made me laugh.
I mean, yeah.
So let us know what you think about net neutrality in the comments below. I don't know what's going on, everybody.
It's a wild night, guys.
Did you, like, I don't know if you know this. During the hearing, like the net neutrality thing, they actually had to stop. The council stopped because of a security threat.
I mean, people want net neutrality.
Like, I was very surprised. It was like, we're having to stop because of a potential security threat. And, like, it went on, like, hold for a while, and then they came back in. I was just like,
John
all right.
Bernthal walks in with his little white skull on his jacket and teaches people that net neutrality needs to stay.
I wonder if that's going to be season 2. Marvel the Punisher has officially been renewed for a second season. Frank Castle, John Bernthal is officially back in business as Netflix has formally announced the renewal of Marvel's The Punisher for a second season, set to premiere at a still to be determined date.
Finished it.
Yeah, how do you like it?
It's in the running for TV show of the year.
Really?
I mean, it was the perfect blend of violence, humor. I mean, not like forced humor. Like, well, trust me, we'll get into forced humor.
Yeah, we'll get into forced humor.
But like, I mean, it didn't feel forced, and I mean, it's just the action scenes of just seeing Frank Castle take bullet after bullet after bullet, and then just keep kicking butt.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he had his little flak jacket on and all that stuff. But, like, I mean, even the mind games that were played, like, I know that was some of our favorite parts of Jessica Jones, but the mind game in The Punisher was also really, really cool because you really don't know who's a friend and who's an ally until you get further along into the season, and then you start seeing how stuff is playing out. I mean, I put Daredevil, then The Punisher, and then everything else falls under that.
Nice. I know season 2 of Jessica Jones is soon to be coming out. I don't know the date off of the top of my head, but
that's going to be good too.
And seeing that it's been renewed makes me think that Disney isn't pulling out of Netflix as soon as we thought it was.
Which I know I wasn't here. I wasn't here last week, was I? Because I'm sure y'all talked about the Disney.
It didn't go through. We're fixing to talk about it. That's the next thing up. You want me to go into it?
Yeah.
Okay, Disney. The empire grows. Disney and Fox finalized deal. The Walt Disney Company and 21st Century Fox Incorporated today has announced that they have entered into a definitive agreement for Disney to acquire 21st Century Fox, including 20th Century Fox film and television studios, along with cable and international TV businesses, for approximately $52.4 billion in stock, subject to adjustment. Bidding on Disney's commitment to deliver the highest quality of branded entertainment, the acquisition of the complementary assets would allow Disney to create more appealing content, blah, 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 blah.
Now, with Disney buying this, I think this opens the door for them to do their own streaming. I don't think it's going to be as quickly as everybody thinks.
Yeah.
Because now this gives them access to all, your Home Alone movies, your Alien, your all the X-Men.
Yeah, we're gonna go through what they own now. But
like
the thing with that, Fox was one of the major shareholders of Hulu. Now Disney is the major shareholder of Hulu.
Yeah, I was going to get into that because they want to churn. They want to turn Channel 10, which is your normal Fox channel, and your
at least here. I don't know if it's anywhere else.
Your Fox channel, like FX and all that stuff. Like they're wanting to turn your main Fox channel into more of a reality TV show, news, and sports. Like that be your sport outlet, and then have some of your shows might not be getting renewed for a new season after the 2018 run of these shows, because that's when you're really going to start seeing an effect is 2019.
Yeah. Well, and what gets me is, did they not sell the sports part of it?
They did. Now ESPN and Fox Sports, which are your two major sports rival, are now under the same umbrella.
Yeah. So now all you have is CBS.
That's your only... Cause
with old Vern.
Good old Vern and Gary.
Didn't he retire?
Gary retired, but you can't say Vern without Gary. But like, and it irks me a little bit because it was always ESPN, Fox, CBS, and they were all three separate heads, and they reported on sports. And now, like, ESPN has fallen off.
ESPN has definitely gotten worse over the years.
And I think that's why they're bringing in Fox to kind of issue in a new era of ESPN. I think they still keep Fox Sports, but I mean, ESPN's been flopping, and like Fox Sports had turned into my main go-to.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that, because they were always like the rivals in sports.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that they've bought all of these things, and it's starting to create, like, they almost had a monopoly as it is in movie side of things. But like, you look at television, like, they've got even bigger of a monopoly. They've got sports, they've got news, they've got television, like kids television, they've got adult television. Like, the only people that are holding out are CBS and Warner Brothers, really. Like, and of course you have, like, even National Geographic is part of this deal. Like look, like it's a bad thing, but it's a good thing at the same time.
Because Disney's going to give you what you want. Like, there's a few things that scare me. The Deadpool.
The Last Jedi.
They most of the time give you what you want. Like, I'm scared to see what they're going to... Deadpool...
But look at the Punisher.
That's true.
Look at the Punisher. You know what I mean?
I think that seeing the Punisher, like, for what it was, gave me more, I'm more relieved about it. Like, I think it's still going to be what we needed it to be. But, I mean, there's
I don't think Disney kills a cash cow.
No, not at all. And I know we're about to talk about what all they're getting, but think... How many times have you watched a movie and you hear, boom, ba-da-da, like you hear the opening Fox, like 20th century, 21st century Fox.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like, and now that is already with a group that not only owns all your Disney movies, they own your Star Wars movies, your Marvel, Pixar. I mean,
they own Miramax as well. Like when people bring up the whole, violence thing, of course you got your Netflix stuff, but they own the people that made Kill Bill.
Yeah.
So like, as long as
was that Miramax?
Yeah, that was Miramax. As long as it's not like Disney like itself making,
Yeah, like they're gonna have their outsourced, publishers and different directors and all that good stuff.
So, it has a lot of potential that, but then you look at, there was supposed to be a Simpson World at Universal Studios.
Does that happen at
No, it doesn't. It's not going to happen at Disney. But, you've got rides that are already in place at Universal, like the Hulk and, all of this kind of stuff. So, like, if things are in place, it
Well, also Disney just opened up Pandora, which, if I'm correct,
Avatar
was Fox.
Yeah, Avatar was kind of like one of the crown jewels on this. So here are ongoing franchises that could possibly be brought in: Alien and Predator. Avatar, which is, it made $3 billion in the box office, so they're definitely very happy about that. The Die Hard franchise, Fantastic Four.
Which I don't think we ever see another Fantastic Four movie.
I think they bring Dr. Doom in and Galactus, but...
talking about like in a standalone film themselves.
Yeah, I think if they do anything, they do it... they'd have to be very careful about it, and they have to do it very well. Yeah. Like, they have to do it extremely well, and I don't know if that's the case. And we talked about, I don't know if you were on the show, they already have movies planned after Phase 4. I think Fantastic Four might be in the next part. Because the MCU is supposedly going to die or be done after Infinity War. They might be in the next part of it.
We just have to see. I'm excited about the next one.
Kingsman, which there's already plans for a third Kingsman. The Martian and Artemis. Of course, The Martian was critical box office success.
Oh, yeah.
And Artemis is kind of the next one of that. This one actually kind of surprised me. The Planet of the Apes. That is a huge get.
Huge.
Because like the last 3 films have done really, really well. Andy Serkis is kind of like the head of that. Like, he's kind of like the ambassador for the Planet of the Apes and everything. So, and that's been going on since 1968. War for the Planet of the Apes performance was compensated by a strong overseas showing and grossed $490 million worldwide. So that's a lot.
And that's big. And the old, I know the Red Sparrow, but they're also getting your older Star Wars movies. Because what?
Because Fox distributed A New Hope originally, so that original version of Star Wars was owned by Fox.
Yeah.
So that's why they only continually put out the re-releases, because I don't know how they got around that. But they do say that they're probably not going to release the old versions because George Lucas doesn't want it, and they would think that would be a slap in George's face.
Oh, yeah.
But Red Sparrow, which is the new Jennifer Lawrence movie that's coming out, that's about the spy and everything. There's books based on that. X-Men.
Yep.
X-Men is huge. And
we're even getting the horror X-Men film coming. So,
New Mutants. I'm curious to see if they pump the brakes on any of the projects that are with this.
Like I said earlier, some of your stuff will get canned, but I think they move to other networks. Like your Gotham and Lucifer, all that stuff is safe because that's a Warner Brother property. But you're going to get some of your other shows that may get canceled, but they might get picked up by a CW or ABC or not ABC, but CBS.
Yeah. So it'd be very interesting. X-Men, in my opinion, I know Infinity War has already wrapped and everything, but I'd pump the brakes on Infinity War and I'd get the X-Men and the Fantastic Four in it. At least
they're huge parts.
At least the big battle. I'd get something going on there.
Someone, I cannot remember who. I think it might have been Jeremy Branch, because I was on his podcast earlier. We talked about it, and he said, if you have this huge war with Thanos and Fantastic Four or X-Men's not there, but they're in the same universe, and they pop up in the movie, you're going to be like, where the heck were you guys
Yeah,
at?
why didn't y'all help us?
Were you on vacation or something? Like,
Down in Fiji.
But I mean, if you think about it, that does make sense.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if it's a potential world-ending affair, you're going to have everybody
And
from
the grandmother, like Aunt May, is going to be out there.
The Avengers all the way to the Defenders.
Yeah.
I know the Defenders can't do as much as Iron Man and Thor.
Yeah, but like they can at least do something.
They can fight off the little aliens.
Yeah. So like, to my point, like if I was Kevin Feige, I would be like, okay, we've got to get them in somehow. Like we've got to do something. You know, even if it's like just a cameo throwaway, like they're like, you see the Human Torch like fly by or something like that. You know,
like,
something
like have a huge fight montage scene like we've seen in all of the Avengers and stuff like that. And like you might see Mr. Fantastic or Sue or the Thing or even Cyclops or somebody fighting off, but not have them have like major roles in the movie.
Yeah, like just like big epic battle scene. Put these characters in there, and like you don't even have to get close up on the face. Like you could just see somebody going, shooting lasers out of their eye.
Or you see a woman fly up in the sky and like strike a ship or something.
Yeah, with lightning.
That storm.
Yeah, like that would be really cool and an easy way, like
to tie them.
I'm saying easy. I'm not like the graphic artists. Putting CGI in there. It's
yeah,
like,
the CGI guy's
easy.
like, screw you, Zach.
Hate mail. But that would be a good way to tie in these new characters into it, because I know they're all about tying everything together. This is your chance to do it, and you've got a few months to make this happen. And it's almost like in Doctor Strange they mentioned, oh God, what is Cyclops' name?
Scott Summers.
Yeah, they mentioned Scott Summers. Not in Doctor Strange. They mentioned him in Captain America.
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier, whichever the second one was. Yeah. Like they mentioned him like in the list of like potential threats. So that would be like he's already been mentioned in the MCU just by like a name, okay, not showing him or anything. That would be the way to do it. Like get them into the fight in some way.
There's ways that it should be done, and I think it needs to be done before Infinity War comes out, because like I said, it's going to throw in all kinds of continuity errors. Like, if you're such a hero, why weren't you here for the big battle? Like, I mean, and that's going to, if people are paying attention, like they're going to ask the same questions that I just asked. Where were they when this was happening? And if you don't throw them in there, it's just going to, make the whole franchise look dumb. Like, you can't have these new characters that you just got, licensed for and everything like that, and not have them in the biggest, like where you're pulling in everybody from Thor, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Squirrel Girl might even show up. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you're bringing in all your Marvel big guns, and you're leaving the Human Torch, Mr. Fantastic, Cyclops.
Those are like X-Men and the Fantastic Four are like A-list.
Yeah,
characters that they're just going to leave on the table. But Bob Iger did confirm that they will be joining the MCU. We don't know when, but he did say this: "We have the opportunity to expand iconic franchises for new generations of fans, just as we have done with Marvel and Star Wars. We're also looking to forward to expanding to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, including X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Deadpool." So, like, they're... saying all of those, like, that confirms, like, they're going to use them. They bought them to use them. And they don't buy things not to use them. Yeah. Here are some things that could be rebooted. I'll just go down the list a little bit. Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Alvin!
They've made about, the last one made about $86 million, The Road Chip.
I
watched the first one.
I watched the first one. That's about as far as I got.
Dr. Dolittle, which I loved, the original Dr. Dolittle, not Eddie Murphy, but I'm talking about the original Dr. Dolittle.
Original.
Yeah, very, very good movie. Home Alone, of course, that would be a really easy one to remake, and I think it would do really well. Ice Age, huge franchise. I think they've ran it in the dirt.
I don't think we need to see another one. Not at the museum. I'd be cool with.
Yeah, I think they could do something different. Don't bring back Ben Stiller. Do something totally different, and I think it'll do really well. I would love to see them take on Percy Jackson
and do it right.
Yes,
because, like Fox. Like I know we've crapped on Fox a lot for screwing.
I'm gonna just say this: we don't have to worry about Fox making crappy movies off of our books anymore.
It's true because Percy Jackson and Aragon are your two leading. These are the poster child of Fox dropped the ball. Like they literally had.
They had something that could be on the same stage as Harry Potter.
Like, the writers looked at the books, are like, we could read this and know what we're talking about. Or...
we just read the back cover.
we could just Wikipedia and come up with our own stuff. And they're like, good idea. And they just throw the books off the table. But, like...
I will admit, the first half of Aragon's pretty hard to read.
It is.
But after that, it's awesome.
But when you look at those franchises, how many movies start off that are slow but they end great? Like you might have to suffer through about 20 minutes of a movie to get to the really good parts when he's learning, different things. But Percy Jackson, like I was like, okay, Fox, here's your second chance. This is a great franchise. Don't screw it up.
Screwed it up.
And they screwed it up.
And then they made another movie and screwed it up too.
And so I would love to see them, redo that and Aragon. Like I brings hope that Aragon could even be.
And what I like, and I know this is probably not something that people would think of it. I don't want live action. I would love to see Pixar take on Percy Jackson.
And you're right. It does not have to be a live action movie. How many times have we sat and watched a DC animated movie and loved it more than we've loved DC live action movies?
Yeah. I really do think in the bottom of my heart that Pixar would do an amazing job because these are kid friendly movies, like books and everything. And I think Pixar this could help them as well get away from making another sequel to another movie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying don't make Incredibles 2. You better keep making that one.
I mean, yeah, that's fine, but like adding onto this Toy Story world or adding on to, we might have a Fox and the Hound 5,
Well, that's
like,
not,
that's
not
not. I'm just going off of like movies that they.
Yeah.
But like, make this an animated movie and see what happens.
Of course, the X-Files, which we saw recently,
They've picked up.
They picked up with another season and everything.
Friend of the podcast, Mitch Pileggi, made an appearance back onto the show.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
there you go. Along with all of that, they did pick up some award-winning movies.
Yep.
The Chronicles of Narnia, which is a really good series.
We can't talk about this next one.
Fight Club. Independence Day. MASH.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm assuming that is worth calling. Disney owns distribution rights, one of the bigger rated shows. So they own not just the movie, but the TV show now. I love MASH.
They're so powerful.
The Maze Runner, key TV shows. They've got The Simpsons. They got Family Guy, The Gifted, Legion, American Horror Story, The Orville, This Is Us,
Modern
Family, 24, and Prison Break. So
now a lot of those shows aren't your typical Disney.
No, but then again,
neither is The Punisher.
Neither is The Punisher and Kill Bill and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So, but I mean, because I know American Horror Story, it got to parts where I can handle just about anything, and I'm just like, oh.
Well, it does really well though. So
They're not gonna get rid of it.
If they the only one that I think in this list, like Prison Break, I know they're hinting at coming back. I don't know if Disney goes through with that because I don't think there's steam in that ship anymore. After
season 2, like you can only break out of a prison so many times till it gets redundant. Quit getting caught.
Modern Family, like that's been huge. Pretty big as well.
It's hilarious.
The thing that I think gets cut is The Simpsons. The Simpsons have been going on for a very long time, and I don't think they're staying as relevant as they should be. So I think The Simpsons get cut, and that's the end of that one.
And that's going to be hard because there's still so many diehard Simpson fans.
I understand that, but
But in the end of the
when
day,
you look at like The Simpsons has like slowly been dying over the years, and I know like you can at me all you want, but it is what it is. Like they even got rid of the guy that has been composing their music for so long to save on their budget. So like it might be an end of an era, but like you got to look at it in this could be bringing something new. Like like The Simpsons, like it's like Brett Favre coming back out of retirement again. God, like no more. Brett Favre should have retired the first time and stayed retired because that would have been a good way to end the story. Now he's just a joke and being used as a metaphor to compare. Actually, that was a simile because I used like. But you know what I mean.
He could sell a pair of Wranglers like nobody
he could
else.
Sell a pair of Wranglers and that like arm like band
thing. The gold band or whatever.
It's something. It's got like metal looking stuff on it. You know
the old people band.
Yeah, the old people band. But like with this transaction, there's a lot of things that come with it.
Oh yeah.
And there's also some trepidation that I have about this because Disney now owns so much of like the movie industry, the television industry. Competition breeds a lot of things. Competition